Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Okay, walang kamatayang issue ng immigration ang ating pag-uusapan in this episode. Specifically this time, yung bilang ng mga immigrants dito sa Canada na inaasahang basically mapauwi sa kanila man pong pinanggalingan because of all these recent changes in Canada's immigration policies. Yung paghihigpit ng Canada. According to this article from the Toronto Star, factoring in daw yung mga numbers na pinresent more than a week ago sa Canada Immigration Targets Plan. Okay, this plan covers 2025 to 2027. Kung pag-aaralan daw yung number na yun, ang inaasahan daw na bilang ng mga temporary immigrants na mapapauwi ay tumataginting na 1.2 million. Ang dami, no? 1.2 million. Sabi dito, the plan assumes that 1.2 million temporary immigrants will voluntarily leave once their, permits expire. Simple lang naman ang gusto kong diskusyon dito. Do you think it's as simple as that? Ganun lang ba kasimple yun? 1.2 million pag mawala ng status, sige, uwian na kami. Ako, didiretsuhin ko na kayo, no? I don't think so. It's not that simple. I'm not saying na yung mga kababayan nating Pilipino ay lahat pagpipilitan ng sarili nila dito, no? Hindi naman po ganon. Kung meron man pong makikipaglaban para sa kanilang stay dito, I'm sure meron din mga kababayan natin. But I don't think yung mga gagawa nun will come mostly from the Philippines, in short. Feeling ko, yun lang ang I would like to believe na ibang mga nationalities ang gagawa nun. I think yung mga Pilipino mas maingat pagdating sa bagay na yan. Tandaan po ninyo kasi, no, if you insist on staying here without any valid permit, that just jeopardizes any future of permanent residency here in Canada. Alam nyo, marami po tayong mga kababayan na sinaga po talaga yung proseso. Took them what? 10 years or more before they got to permanently stay here in Canada. Yung ipapabalik-balik dito, no? Ganun po ang nangyayari. That is one option you might want to take in case you run out of status, your status expires. You can go home, study your options again. Wait a few years, siguro, and find an opportunity to come back here legally. Okay, that's the most important thing. So going back to dun sa question ko, no? 1.2 million temporary immigrants expected to voluntarily leave. Una sa lahat, ang dami nun. Ayan, tignan nyo tong article mismo. 1.2 temporary residents must leave Canada in 2025. Oh, tignan nyo for the year 2025 lang yun when their status expires. But will they? Diba? It's actually a good title. Totoo nga naman yan ang magandang pag-usapan. Sabi nung sub-headline dito, while some have sought asylum to extend their stay, others with nothing to go back to may move underground. Underground, ano ibig sabihin? Hindi, makikipagsapalaran sila dito without status, undocumented, illegal. Diba? It's a reality here in Canada, in the US, other countries that accept immigrants, Okay. Ang sabi ng article na to, hindi po kasi ganun nga kasimple yun na parang, sige, uwi na kami. Dahil there are cases of people, packing their bags, selling all their belongings kung saan man po sila nanggaling para isuga lahat dito sa Canada. At ang sinasabi nitong article, kung ganun ang sitwasyon mo, halimbawa, uuwi ka pa ba? Diba? Uuwi ka pa ba? Wala ka nang uuwian. Binenta mo na lahat ng ari-arian mo, bahay mo. Siguro yung mga kamag-anak mo, yung iba pa, nandito na, ikaw na lang ang walang status, yung mga ganun bang sitwasyon. For these people, it's not going to be an easy decision na, ay, wala na akong status, sige, babalik na ako dun sa pinanggalingan ko. There are cases like that. Eto, tingnan niyo, meron silang in-interview dito na isang immigration consultant. Anong sabi rin niya, no? To expect the majority of them to leave willfully is not feasible. That level of mass exodus has never happened. Oo, no. Ang dami naman kasi, 1.2 million in just 2025 alone, ha? Not to say na most of them will stay, Pero, di ba, sabihin mo nang kahit 10% dyan magsistay, ilan yun? That's easily, 120,000. Ang dami nun. And that will go on top of the undocumented people who are already here. Ang estimate po ng gobyerno dito, ilan ba? 200, anywhere between 200 to 600,000. So all this time, meron pong ganun karaming undocumented workers dito. At umaasa ring mabigyan ng permanent residency because mismong itong si Prime Minister Justin Trudeau promised them a mass regularization program only to find out na binabawi po muna yung pangakong yun. So that gives you an idea on how complex din the situation is. So ano bang mangyayari if a person with an expired status insists on staying? There will come a time when a removal order is going to be issued for them. Removal order, ibig sabihin, yun na nga, kailangan mong umuwi. Pero alam nyo, hindi lang din ganun kasimple yung bagay na yan. Kahit meron ng removal order ang isang tao po dito sa Canada, they have plenty of options that will allow them to stay, to extend their stay. Isa na po dyan, halimbawa, ay ang pag-seek ng asylum. Ayan, lagi natin pinag-uusapan dito sa channel na yan. Kapag sila ay nag-file ng asylum claim, okay, gusto nilang maging refugee dito in short, ang tagal po nun. Ang tagal ng prosesong yun. At kung may removal order sila, hindi muna i-enforce yung removal order na yon until a decision has been made doon sa kanilang asylum claim. Okay? Ilan ba o gaano katagal ba ang asylum, pag-process ng asylum claim? Papakita ko sa inyo. This is data from Canada Border Services. Backlog and wait times ng mga refugee claims at yung mga nag-a-appeal ng refugee claims. Okay, so isipin nyo yung mismong proseso, tapos kunyari magka-desisyon na, pwede mo pa pang i-appeal yun, which will again extend your stay. Tignan nyo ito. As of end of October, okay, the projected wait times approximately, okay, for refugee claims ay 24 months. 2 taon. O, kung mag-a-appeal ka pa, sabi dito, the average for an appeal is 12 months. O, di may 3 taong ka, no? Kung ito ang gagamitin mong paraan. Pero, syempre, guys, huwag niyong gagamitin ng refugee claim, okay? There are also fake asylum claims na kasalukuyan din. Sinabi ni ni Minister Mark Miller ay tinitignan din nila. Maraming nga just for the purpose of extending their stay and nagsisik ng asylum. That's not right. That is wrong. There are specific grounds for you to seek asylum. Okay? Kung gusto nyo lang gamitin ito para maka-extend ng stay, baka maging problema lang din po yan sa inyo later on. Pero mag-exhaust. Kung desperate ang isang tao, guys, no? I won't be surprised if they will explore this option. One reason, for me, kaya nga, hindi ganun-ganun lang kasimple ang haharapin kumbaga ng Canada. At alam nyo naman, na mga reports ngayon, sinasabi ay parami yung mga nagkiklaim ng asylum dito sa Canada. Pero, okay, sasabihin ko, no, hindi po kabilang ang mga Pilipino sa mga top claimants kung tawagin. Okay, wala po tayo sa mga yan. Bago po natin ipagpatuloy yung episode na yan, ako, just a short commercial. This channel, ito pong in a nutshell, is open for collaboration, guys. If you're interested in creating content with me, please contact Talentado Creative Agency o yung Talentado CA. Nako, sila po ang mag-handle ng mga collaborations for in a nutshell. Yeah, and for content creators looking for someone to help boost your channels, whether here on YouTube, on Facebook, TikTok, nako, i-consider nyo po ang Talentado Agency. Matutulungan po kayo, ito ng anak ko, matutulungan po kayo in networking. Ako personally, nako, ang dami ko na agad natutulan sa kapwa Talentado talents na nakausap ko na. No? Ang dami mga tips on how to improve and boost my channel. So yeah, ito po ang contact information ng Talentado CA, and I will also put it down in the description box if you're interested. Okay, back to episode! So isang malaking issue talaga dito ay enforcement. Yun ang biggest question ko. If the government of Canada is expecting 1.2 million temporary immigrants to leave voluntarily, paano kaya yung monitoring nun? Yeah. Will they knock on every door, call them sa registered numbers nila one by one, and check if they're still here? Ganun ba yun? Ang hirap yun. So it's really a question of enforcement. Mismo ang gobyerno ng Canada, aminado, no? Kulang sila ng tao to monitor these things. Kulang sila ng tao in the recent year, in previous years pa, ha? Kung saan hindi pa ganito yung, kalaki po yung problema nila sa immigration. So, ayun, ano? Paano kaya? Oh, by the way, ito yung number ng refugees na meron na. Kung tutusin, itong option ng refugee, compared to the 1.2 million figure, maliit lang naman siguro yung porsyento na who will force themselves into this, path. Which again, huwag niyo pong gagawin kung wala naman talagang threat po sa inyong buhay sa Pilipinas. Okay? So ito, according to government data, ito yung mga claims received from January to September, more than 132,000. Okay? At dito po sila galing. Yung mga bansa kung saan may pinakamarami ay ang India, Nigeria, Ghana, and the Republic of Guinea. Pero tignan nyo nga yung numbers, halimbawa sa India, 2,000 plus, Nigeria, almost 2,000. So, ang liit na porsyento lang naman po nito dun sa 1.2 million. Halimbawa man, again, na yan ang tatahakin nilang landas. Pero bakit ito laging nababalita? It's because with every number that comes with an asylum claim is a lot of money spent. Okay, is a lot of taxpayers' money na ginagastos po. May nabasa akong report, parang at least or an average yata of $5,000 a month ang binibigay po sa mga refugees dito sa Canada. I-multiply mo yan sa bilang nila, yung total nila, ang laking pera po niyan. Kaya mainit po ang mga taga dito sa issue na yan. But again, I don't think naman yung mga kababayan natin will take this path, no? I don't know what the government of Canada is going to do about this, pero may soundbite itong si Mark Miller tungkol dito sa mga fake asylum claims, ha. Dito po, tinatanong si Mark Miller tungkol sa plano niya sa mga nagpa-file ng asylum. Okay?
Dealing with these cases.
We have a system in Canada that we're quite proud of. It's an independent refugee board that takes the decision. It isn't me. I do believe that a number of these claims are not ethical. If someone is a student, they've been studying here, their life is not in danger, the circumstances in their home country has not changed, they shouldn't be filing for asylum claims. It actually makes the rest of the system look bad. So I think those are measures that we need to continue to crack down on. There's no one single solution that'll end this overnight. And in fact, given the numbers, this is a situation that could potentially get worse before it gets better. But making sure that the Immigration Refugee Board, which a lot of countries envious for having, that allows people to get a sense of, that allows a board to determine whether someone is a true refugee or not, is something we can be proud of. But when the volume increases and when it's being exploited, whether it's by immigration consultants that are counseling these people to claim asylum, it undermines the integrity of the system. It's something we need to constantly address, and I will be acting accordingly in the next few months.
So ayun, una sa lahat may sinabi sir doon. It's a situation where things will get worse before they get better. So inaasahan nila that this is gonna be a big problem. Kaya niya sinabi sa may dulo rin, that he will take actions in the coming months to address this. So isa yan sa mga tututukan ng gobyerno ng Canada. Okay, pero nga para ako silang plaka, sabi ko nga sa inyo, I don't think naman yung mga kababayan natin will take this path. Siguro yung ibang gustong ipaglaban yung kanilang pag-stay dito sa Canada, will explore other options like, seeking permanent residency through humanitarian and compassionate grounds. Guys, very, very last resort lang po talaga yan, kung gusto nyong i-consider yan, I have an episode about this with Dayanara in Puerto Bantiga. I-check nyo po yan. May ganon, ano? Siguro HNC. Or some really will just stay here, undocumented, and take on cash jobs and, yun, gamble. Again, yung Canada nga, hindi pa po na monitor ng husto yung mga undocumented na nag-accumulate dito over the past years. Again, hundreds of thousands are here. And then they will take on this new batch of immigrants na gusto po nilang pauwin, you know. They have their hands full. For sure. Kasabay po niyan, ano, there also is an increased number of spot checks, inspections in workplaces, hiring illegal immigrants. Again, ang ending po niyan, syempre, ang goal ng Canada ay mapauwi ang mga ito. Pero hindi lang din, pero hindi ganun po kadali lang din yun, ano, kapag may removal order. There's a long process a person can take kung gusto po nilang kontrahin ang isang removal order. Definitely, I think Canada needs to increase its manpower if they want to enforce all these rules that they've been announcing over the recent months. Tracking pa lang. Di ko alam if they know where everybody is, di ba? May nabasa ko, isa pa sa tinututukan nila, yung mga nag-fail na, no, hindi nag-grantan na talaga with finality yung mga refugee claim, hinahanap ngayon nila. Doon pa lang, ang dami na nilang taong kailangan gamitin para habulin o hanapin yung mga taong yun, di ba? And then there's also people who, immigrants here, temporary immigrants who engage in criminal activity. Priority rin po nila yan, syempre mapauwi, kesa dun sa mga nag-expire lang ang status. So, ang dami mga bagay. It's such a complex issue. Pag nababasa natin, 1.2 million, pauuwiin, mapapauwi. It's not as simple as that. That's just, my point here. And I'd like to hear your thoughts as always. Palagay ninyo, no? Yung 1.2 million temporary immigrants, do you think they will voluntarily leave? Yeah, so I'll end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye!